Unit 1. Word list. Afraid. When someone is afraid, they feel fear.
The woman was afraid of what she saw.
Agree. To agree is to say yes, or to think the same way.
The food is very good in that restaurant. I agree with you.
Angry. When someone is angry, they may want to speak loudly or fight.
She didn't do her homework, so her father is angry.
Arrive. To arrive is to get to or reach some place.
The bus always arrives at the corner of my street at 4.
Attack. To attack is to try to fight or to hurt.
The man with the sword attacked the other man first.
Bottom. The bottom is the lowest part.
The bottom of my shoe has a hole in it.
Clever. When someone is clever, they can solve a hard puzzle or problem.
The clever boy thought of a good idea.
Cruel. When someone is cruel, they do bad things to hurt others.
The cruel man yelled at his sister.
Finally. If something happens finally, it happens after a long time or at the end.
He finally crossed the finish line after 5 hours of running.
Hide. To hide is to try not to let others see you.
The other children will hide while you count to 100.
Hunt. To hunt is to look for or search for an animal to kill.
Long ago, people hunted with bows and arrows.
Lot. A lot means a large number or amount of people, animals, things, etc.
There are a lot of apples in the basket.
Middle. The middle of something is the center or halfway point.
The Canadian flag has a maple leaf in the middle of it.
Moment. A moment is a second or a very short time.
I was only a few moments late for the meeting.
Pleased. When someone is pleased, they are happy.
She was pleased with the phone call she received.
Promise. To promise is to say you will do something for sure.
He promised to return my key by tomorrow.
Reply. To reply is to give an answer or say back to someone.
She asked him what time his meeting was. He replied at 3.
Safe. When a person is safe, they are not in danger.
Put on your seatbelt in the car to be safe.
Trick. A trick is something you do to fool another person.
His card trick really surprised us.
Well. You use well to say that something was done in a good way.
The couple can dance quite well. The Lion and the Rabbit. A cruel lion lived in the forest. Every day he killed and ate a lot of animals. The other animals were afraid the lion would kill them all. The animals told the lion, "Let's make a deal. If you promise to eat only one animal each day, then one of us will come to you every day. Then you don't have to hunt and kill us." The plan sounded well thought out to the lion, so he agreed. But he also said, "If you don't come every day, I promise to kill all of you the next day." Each day after that, one animal went to the lion so that the lion could eat it. Then all the other animals were safe. Finally, it was the rabbit's turn to go to the lion. The rabbit went very slowly that day, so the lion was angry when the rabbit finally arrived. The lion angrily asked the rabbit, "Why are you late?" "I was hiding from another lion in the forest. That lion said he was the king, so I was afraid." The lion told the rabbit, "I am the only king here. Take me to that other lion and I will kill him." The rabbit replied, "I will be happy to show you where he lives." The rabbit led the lion to an old well in the middle of the forest. The well was very deep with water at the bottom. The rabbit told the lion, "Look in there. The lion lives at the bottom." When the lion looked in the well, he could see his own face in the water. He thought that was the other lion. Without waiting another moment, the lion jumped into the well to attack the other lion. He never came out. All of the other animals in the forest were very pleased with the rabbit's clever trick.
Unit 2. Word list. Adventure. An adventure is a fun or exciting thing that you do.
Riding in the rough water was an adventure.
Approach. To approach something means to move close to it.
The boy approached his school.
Carefully. Carefully means with great attention, especially to detail or safety.
The baby carefully climbed down the stairs.
Chemical. A chemical is something that scientists use in chemistry.
The scientist mixed the chemicals.
Create. To create means to make something new.
She created an igloo from blocks of snow.
Evil. Evil describes something or someone bad or cruel, not good.
The evil figure scared us all.
Experiment. An experiment is a test that you do to see what will happen.
The student did an experiment in science class.
Kill. To kill someone or something is to make them die.
I killed the fly with a fly swatter.
Laboratory. A laboratory is a room where a scientist works.
My mother works in a laboratory.
Laugh. Laugh is the sound made when someone is happy or a funny thing occurs.
The sound of their laugh filled the room.
Loud. If a sound is loud, it is strong and very easy to hear.
The man's voice was so loud that we all could hear him.
Nervous. When a person is nervous, they think something bad will happen.
The boy became nervous when he heard the news.
Noise. A noise is an unpleasant sound.
The crying baby made a loud noise.
Project. A project is a type of work that you do for a school or a job.
His afternoon work project was to paint the room green.
Scare. To scare someone is to make them feel afraid.
My uncle was scared by what he saw in the room.
Secret. A secret is something that you do not tell other people.
The two boys were sharing a secret.
Shout. To shout is to say something loudly.
My boss shouted at me because I was late for work.
Smell. To smell something means to use your nose to sense it.
The two friends smelled the flower.
Terrible. If something is terrible, it is very bad.
The way he treated his classmate was terrible.
Worse. If something is worse, it is of poorer quality than another thing.
Business was worse this month than last month.
The laboratory. Mia's father had a laboratory, but she had no idea what was in it. Her dad always closed and locked the door when he went in. She knew that he used it to do projects for work. He never told Mia what these projects were. One night, Mia approached the door to the laboratory. She stopped and thought, "I wonder what crazy experiment he is doing now." Suddenly, she heard a loud noise. It sounded like an evil laugh. The noise scared her, so she walked quickly back to her room. The next night, her friend Liz came to her house. When Liz arrived, Mia told her about the night before. "Oh, it was terrible," she said. "Why don't we see what is in there?" Liz asked. "It will be a fun adventure." Mia felt nervous about going into her father's laboratory, but she agreed. As always, the door was locked. They waited until Mia's father left the laboratory to eat dinner. "He didn't lock the door," Liz said. "Let's go." The laboratory was dark. The girls walked down the stairs carefully. Mia smelled strange chemicals. What terrible thing was her father creating? Suddenly, they heard an evil laugh. It was even worse than the one Mia heard the night before. What if a monster was going to kill them? Mia had to do something. She shouted for help. Mia's father ran into the room and turned on the lights. "Oh no," he said. "You must have learned my secret." "Your monster tried to kill us," Mia said. "Monster?" he asked. "You mean this?" He had a pretty doll in his hands. The doll laughed. The laugh didn't sound so evil anymore. "I made this for your birthday. I wanted to give it to you then, but you can have it now. I hope you like it." Unit 3. Word List. Alien. An alien is a creature from a different world.
The alien came in peace.
Among. If you are among certain things, they are all around you.
There was a red apple among the green ones.
Chart. A chart is a list of information.
We used a chart to see how we had improved.
Cloud. A cloud is a group of water drops in the sky.
The sky was filled with white clouds.
Comprehend. To comprehend something is to understand it.
Henry could not comprehend the message.
Describe. To describe is to say or write what someone or something is like.
They described their tree as colorful, with gold ribbon and a star.
Ever. Ever means at any time.
Going skiing last winter was the most fun I've ever had.
Fail. To fail means you do not succeed in what you try to do.
Since he failed to get the job, he was sad.
Friendly. Friendly is behaving in a pleasant, kind way toward someone.
The friendly animals came up to the girl.
Grade. A grade is a score or mark given to someone's work.
I managed to get good grades on my report card.
Instead. Instead means in place of.
He ate the carrot instead of the ice cream.
Library. A library is a place where you go to read books.
The library at school is full of books.
Planet. A planet is a large round thing in space.
Saturn is the planet with the ring around it.
Report. A report is something students write for school.
Karen had trouble writing her report.
Several. Several is more than two, but not many.
He had to read several books for class.
Solve. To solve something is to find an answer to it.
All the students could easily solve the math problem.
Suddenly. If something happens suddenly, it happens quickly and unexpectedly.
I was suddenly surprised by the cake my friends brought me.
Suppose. To suppose is to guess.
I suppose I should go home now.
Universe. The universe is the known or supposed objects in space.
The universe is so large that it cannot be measured.
View. To view is to look at something.
Michael likes to view himself in the mirror. The report. Lee sat among the books at the library and thought about his group project. They had to turn it in soon, but he hadn't even started his part. Jack and Claire were in his group. They had worked hard. They were also very smart, and Lee didn't want them to get a bad grade. Jack did the report. He wrote a lot of very good sentences and described things with great adjectives. Claire drew a nice map of the stars. Now Lee needed to do his part of the project. Well, I suppose I need to start my model, Lee thought. Making a model of a planet was really hard. Lee tried to read several books, but he couldn't comprehend any of the charts. "We're going to fail because of me," Lee said. He put his head down on the table and said, "I wish I could see a planet instead of having to read about it." Suddenly, there was a bright light. Lee was pulled from his chair, through the roof, and right into a strange ship. "Hello, kid," said an alien. "Did you ask for help?" Lee told the friendly alien all about his project. The alien agreed to help Lee solve his problem. "First, we'll fly through space to view the universe. Then I can help you make a model of my planet." Soon they were going through the clouds. They passed the moon. Then they viewed Mars. Lee was very excited. Instead of a bad grade, his group would have the best project ever. "It's time to go home," the alien finally said. On the way back, he helped Lee make a model of the planet Mars. Soon they were on Earth. "Thanks," Lee said. "My model will be awesome." Then he took his model and said goodbye to his new friend.
Unit 4. Word list. Appropriate. When a thing is appropriate, it is right or normal.
It's appropriate to wear a suit when you go to the office.
Avoid. To avoid something is to stay away from it.
Avoid the broken bottle on the floor.
Behave. To behave is to act in a particular way, especially to be good.
She always behaves well when her father is around.
Calm. When someone is calm, they do not get excited or upset.
A nice warm bath makes me feel so calm.
Concern. Concern is a feeling of worry.
I was filled with concern after reading the newspaper.
Content. To be content is to be happy and not want more.
The baby looked very content sitting on the floor.
Expect. If you expect something to happen, you believe it will happen.
I expect the bus to be here very soon.
Frequently. When something happens frequently, it happens often.
We meet frequently. either at the beginning or ending of the week.
Habit. A habit is a thing that you do often.
Smoking is a bad habit that can kill you.
Instruct. To instruct is to teach.
My teacher instructs us in several subjects.
Issue. An issue is an important topic.
The men spoke about issues that were important to the people.
None. None means not any of someone or something.
He spent all his money. There is none left.
Patient. If a person is patient, they don't become angry or upset easily.
I had to be patient and wait until 5 o'clock to leave.
Positive. If something is positive, it is good.
She has a positive future ahead of her after finishing college.
Punish. To punish means to make someone suffer for breaking the rules or laws.
To punish me, my teacher had me stand in the corner.
Represent. To represent is to speak or act for a person or group.
My lawyer will represent me in court.
Shake. To shake is to move back and forth or up and down quickly.
When people shake hands, it usually means they agree.
Spread. To spread is to move quickly to more places.
I like to spread butter on my toast.
Stroll. To stroll means to walk slowly and calmly.
My dog and I strolled through the park today.
Village. A village is a very small town.
There are only a few houses in my village.
The dog's bell. John's dog was a bad dog. He bit people frequently. John had great concern about this. It was not an appropriate way for a dog to behave. His friends in the village always expected the dog to bite them. The news about John's dog spread through the village. None of the people wanted to go to John's house. John tried to instruct the dog to behave, but it never worked. He tried to be patient and teach the dog to be calm. That also didn't work. John didn't want to punish the dog. How will I stop my dog's bad habit? John asked himself. John's friend came to talk to him about the issue. During their important meeting, his friend said, "The people in the village asked me to represent them. We want your dog to stop this habit. Why don't you put a bell around the dog's neck? This way, we would hear your dog coming down the street." John thought this was a great idea. Now people could stay away from the dog. It would not be able to bite anyone anymore. The dog liked the bell too. People looked at him when they heard his bell. This made the dog very content. He liked the song the bell played when he walked. One day, John's dog strolled through the village and met some other dogs. He expected them to want a bell like his, but they laughed at his bell. They said the bell made people avoid him. John's dog shook his head. "No, they look at me because they like the bell." The other dog said, "You have the wrong idea of what makes you popular. Of course they like your bell. It tells them where you are so they can avoid you. You aren't able to bite them anymore. You see, being popular isn't something positive when it's for the wrong reason." Unit 5. Word list. Aware. If you are aware of something, you know about it.
I was not aware of the ringing phone.
Badly. Badly means in a severe or harmful way.
He hurt his arm badly playing with friends.
Belong. If something belongs to you, you own it.
The blue suit belongs to Paul.
Continue. To continue something is to keep doing it.
She stood under her umbrella as the rain continued to fall.
Error. An error is something you do wrong.
I made an error on my report, so my boss was angry.
Experience. An experience is something you have seen or done.
Rock climbing was a fun experience.
Field. A field is a big area of land.
The field of flowers looked so pretty.
Hurt. To hurt is to do something that makes you feel pain.
She hurt her leg falling down the stairs.
Judgment. Judgment is the ability to form opinions or decisions.
It's good judgment to recycle your aluminum cans.
Likely. If something likely happens, it will probably happen.
I will likely stay at home and watch TV tonight.
Normal. If something is normal, it is not strange nor surprising to you.
It is normal for me to bathe every night.
Rare. If something is rare, you do not see it very often.
It is rare for him to miss his flight.
Relax. To relax is to rest.
The frog relaxed in the warm sun.
Request. To request something is to ask for it.
The little girl requested a special gift from Santa Claus.
Reside. To reside means to live somewhere permanently or for a long time.
My brother and his family reside in a lovely house on the beach.
Result. A result is something that happens because of something else.
As a result of all the rain, the man had to climb on the roof.
Roll. To roll is to move by turning over and over.
You must roll the ball into the pins when you bowl.
Since. Since is used to talk about a past event still happening now.
Since 1992, he has been driving that car.
Visible. If something is visible, it can be seen.
The moon and stars were visible in the night sky.
Wild. If something is wild, it is found in nature.
You should be careful around a fox because it is a wild animal. The Jackal and the Sunchild. A jackal is a wild dog with a big black back. It resides in the desert. But how did the jackal get his black back? This was how it happened. One day, the jackal saw a girl. She was sitting upon a rock. She was not a normal child. She was a rare and beautiful sun-child. She was bright and warm like the sun. The child saw the jackal and smiled. She said, "Jackal, I have been relaxing on this rock for too long. I must get home soon. But I am slow and you are fast. You will likely get me home more quickly." Then she requested, "Will you carry me home? If you do, I'll give you a gift. This necklace belongs to me, but I will give it to you." The wild jackal agreed. So the sun-child sat on the dog's back. They started to walk, but soon the jackal felt ill. The sun-child was very hot on his back. The heat was hurting his back very badly. "I made a terrible error in judgment," he thought. He shouldn't have agreed to carry her, so he asked her to get off. But she did not. The jackal's back continued to get hotter and harder. He had to get away from the sun-child, so he made a plan. First, he ran as fast as he could. He hoped the sun-child would fall off, but she did not. So when the sun-child was looking at the sky, Not aware of the jackal's next plan, he jumped into a field of flowers. As a result, the child rolled off his back. The jackal ran away. But the sun child left a mark on the jackal's back, a visible black mark. Ever since his experience with the sun child, the jackal has had a black back.
Unit 6. Word list. Advantage. An advantage is something that helps you.
Being tall is an advantage to a basketball player.
Cause. To cause is to make something happen.
The cold weather caused her to get sick.
Choice. A choice is the act or possibility of picking something.
I had my choice of 5 doors to open.
Community. A community is a group of people who live together.
The kids from my community usually play together.
Dead. To be dead is to not be alive.
A dead person is usually buried in the ground.
Distance. The distance between two things is how far it is between them.
The distance between the Earth and the Moon is 384,400 kilometers.
Escape. To escape is to run away from something bad.
The butterfly could not escape from the cage.
Face. If you face a problem, you deal with it.
My sister and I have to find a better way to face our differences.
Follow. To follow means to go behind someone and go where they go.
The little boy followed his mother home.
Fright. Fright is the feeling of being scared.
She was filled with fright.
Ghost. A ghost is the spirit of a dead person.
Many people are afraid of ghosts.
Individual. An individual is one person.
Only one individual could win the bicycle race.
Pet. A pet is an animal that lives with people.
Out of all my pets, the dog is my favorite.
Reach. To reach means to arrive at a place.
I was happy to finally reach my destination.
Return. To return is to go back to a place.
I was happy to return home to my mom after school.
Survive. To survive is to stay alive.
My dog survived her fall into the water.
Upset. To be upset is to be unhappy about something.
She was upset because she broke her toy.
Voice. A voice is the sound a person makes when they talk or sing.
He used a microphone so everyone could hear his voice.
Weather. The weather is the condition of the air. Hot, rainy, windy, etc.
The weather can be sunny, rainy, or cold.
Wise. To be wise is to use experience and intelligence to make good choices.
Many people believe that owls are very wise animals.
The friendly ghost. A nice woman lived by a large river. She loved children. She wanted to help them in any way. She loved her community, and everyone in the community loved her. She lived a very long time and became very wise. When she died, she became a ghost. She was dead, but every night she returned to her community. She wanted to help children and not to cause them fright, but she had a scary voice. Children were afraid of her. But the ghost was a good one. She only scared them to help them. One night, Some children and a dog were playing by the river. They were having fun with their pet, but they were far from home. Then the weather became bad. It rained and rained. The river was rising. It was very dark. The children knew they were lost. They needed to go north, but they didn't know which direction it was. When the moon came out, they saw a ghost by the river. The ghost said, "Go away!" The children felt great fright. They knew it was a ghost. Then the ghost moved closer. She yelled again, "Go away!" The children became very upset. Some of them began to cry. The children knew they had a choice. They could escape, or they could stay and face this scary individual in the dark. The children ran a long distance away. The ghost followed them all the way. Finally, the children reached home. The ghost was very happy. Soon the river rose higher and higher. It was very dangerous. The ghost had helped the children survive. She had saved them from the rising water. She also used her power to lead them home. Sometimes, meeting a ghost has advantages. A ghost can save your life. Unit 7. Word list. Allow. To allow something to happen means to let it happen.
Having a ticket will allow you to enter the show.
Announce. To announce something is to make it known.
He announced to everyone his new idea for the company.
Beside. When someone or something is beside you, they are next to you.
The two brothers stood beside each other.
Challenge. A challenge is something difficult to complete.
It was a challenge to climb to the top of the mountain.
Claim. To claim means to say that something is true.
He claimed to know why the country's laws were weak.
Condition. The condition of someone or something is the state that they are in.
The patient's condition was very good.
Contribute. To contribute to something means to do something to make it successful.
We decided to contribute money to the new hospital.
Difference. A difference is a way that something is not like other things.
The biggest difference between the birds is the color of their feathers.
Divide. To divide something is to make it into smaller parts.
We divided the pizza.
Expert. An expert is someone who is very good at doing something.
The wizard was an expert at magic.
Famous. If someone or something is famous, they are known to many people.
The Eiffel Tower in Paris is very famous.
Force. Force is a person's strength or power.
He used all his force to try and open the door.
Harm. Harm is hurt or problems caused to someone or something.
A hot iron can cause great harm if you are not careful.
Lay. To lay means to put or place in a horizontal or flat position.
Don't lay your socks on the floor.
Peace. Peace is a time without war.
A white dove is a symbol for peace.
Prince. A prince is the son of a king.
The prince and the princess were married.
Protect. To protect someone is to stop them from getting hurt.
Firemen protect us from fires.
Sense. To sense something is to know about it without being told.
I could sense that he was watching me.
Sudden. When something is sudden, it happens very quickly.
He felt a sudden pain in his chest.
Therefore. Therefore means for this reason.
He is fat, therefore he will go on a diet. The Best Prince. King Minos was very sick. His condition was getting worse. He had 3 sons. He loved them all. He had to announce who would become king. 2 of the princes stood waiting outside the king's room. Theseus was the oldest and strongest. He thought his father would make him king. Peleus, the second son, thought differently. He was an expert with weapons. He thought the king would choose him. "When I'm king," Theseus told Peleus, "I'll let you contribute to the defense of our country. You can lead the army." Peleus became angry. "Father knows I'm famous for my sword skills. He'll make me king." "You?" Theseus yelled. "He won't choose you." "The kingdom is mine," Peleus claimed. "Father will give it to me, or I'll use force to take it." Theseus made a sudden move to take out his sword. Then Peleus did the same. "Beating me will be a challenge," Theseus said. "Fight me now. The winner gets the kingdom." Peleus agreed. King Minos could hear his sons fighting. The youngest son, Jason, stood beside him. He sensed his father's sadness. The king laid his hand flat on Jason's arm. "Your brothers fight too much," the king told him. "I must protect my kingdom from all harm. They'll divide it between them. The people won't know what to do. There'll be war. I can't allow either of them to be king. Therefore, I'm making you king. Your kindness has always made you special. It's the difference between you and your brothers. You can bring peace. They can't." Then the king died. Theseus and Peleus heard that their youngest brother was king. They were surprised. They realized that their fighting was wrong. It had kept them from saying goodbye to their father. They agreed to have Jason as their king. He was the best choice.
Unit 8. Word list. Accept. To accept something that is offered is to take it.
I accepted the girl's very nice gift.
Arrange. To arrange things is to put them in the right place.
Please arrange the bowling pins in order so we can play.
Attend. To attend something is to go to it.
My sister and I attend the same school.
Balance. To balance something is to keep it from falling.
We saw an elephant balance itself on a ball.
Contrast. A contrast is the sharp difference between two things.
The contrast between my parents is very noticeable.
Encourage. To encourage someone is to make them want to do something.
My football coach will encourage us when we are losing.
Familiar. If someone or something is familiar to you, you know them well.
The 2 friends were very familiar with each other.
Grab. To grab is to take hold of someone or something suddenly.
I grabbed a pear from the tree.
Hang. To hang something is to keep it above the ground.
I drew a picture of my family and my mother hung it on the wall.
Huge. If something is huge, it is very big.
At work, my father drives a huge truck.
Necessary. If something is necessary, you must do it.
It is necessary to have a passport when you travel to a foreign country.
Pattern. A pattern is a way in which something is done or organized.
My pattern of brushing my teeth is the same as most people's.
Propose. To propose something is to say that it should be done.
Santa Claus proposed that I try to be a good boy all year.
Purpose. A purpose is the reason that you do something.
The purpose of exercising is to get into shape.
Release. To release something is to stop holding it.
She released the bird from her hands.
Require. To require something is to say that it is necessary.
We require teachers to have a university degree.
Single. If something is single, then there is only one.
I have a single key in my hand.
Success. Success is doing something well that you choose to do.
My daughter was a big success at school.
Tear. To tear something means to pull it apart.
It is easy to tear paper.
Theory. A theory is an idea about how something works.
We talked about Einstein's theory of relativity in class.
How the sun and the moon were made. Do you ever wonder where the moon and the sun came from? The Inuit people of Alaska have a theory. They tell a story about a beautiful girl. She was very nice. In contrast, her brother was a mean little boy. One day he proposed something. "We should go to a party," he said. The girl accepted. First, it was necessary for her to prepare. She arranged her hair and put on nice clothes. This required a lot of time. But the girl worked hard, and soon she had success. She looked perfect. They attended the party together. The girl was having fun. Later, she walked into the bathroom. Suddenly, the lights were turned off. Someone grabbed her hair and tore her clothes. She ran out of the bathroom. She wanted to know who did this to her. Then she had an idea. She fixed her hair again. This time it was even more beautiful. She even balanced beautiful jewels in it. She wanted to encourage the person to grab it again. She put black dirt in her hair. The purpose of this was to catch the person. She went to the bathroom again, and it was the same pattern. The lights went off, and someone grabbed her hair. When he released it, his hand was black. The girl returned to the party. She knew there was only a single person with a black hand. When she saw that person, he was very familiar. It was her brother. He ran into the woods. The girl ran after him. They both carried fire so they could see in the dark. The smoke went into the air. As they ran, they grew. They became huge. Then they went into space. When the girl's fire went out, she hung in the sky. She became the moon, and her brother became the sun. They chase each other forever. Unit 9. Word list. Against. To be against something is to be touching it or opposed to it.
They both leaned against the wall.
Beach. The beach is a sandy or rocky place by the ocean.
The little girl built a sandcastle on the beach.
Damage. To damage something is to break it.
The car was damaged in the accident.
Discover. To discover something is to find it for the first time.
I discovered some new information in this book.
Emotion. An emotion is how you feel.
Anger is a common emotion that we all feel.
Fix. To fix something is to make it work.
My dad has many tools to help him fix broken things.
Frank. If you are frank, you are being very honest.
The teacher had a frank discussion with her students.
Identify. To identify something is to be able to name it.
I used the file to identify his name.
Island. An island is land in the middle of water.
Japan is a group of islands.
Ocean. The ocean is all of the salt water that surrounds land.
The ocean can make powerful waves.
Perhaps. Perhaps is used when you say that something could happen.
Perhaps I will eat an apple for lunch.
Pleasant. If something is pleasant, you enjoy it.
The character had a pleasant look on its face.
Prevent. To prevent something is to stop it from happening.
The handcuffs prevented me from moving my hands.
Rock. A rock is a hard thing in the dirt.
I stacked rocks on top of one another.
Save. To save something is to keep it from being hurt.
I want to help save the world.
Step. To step is to walk.
Be careful where you step.
Still. Still is used when you say that a situation keeps going on.
They are still waiting in line to get tickets.
Taste. A taste is the flavor something makes in your mouth.
The taste of the fruit was sweet.
Throw. To throw something is to use your hand to make it go through the air.
The pitcher can throw the baseball very fast.
Wave. A wave is a line of water that moves higher than the rest of the water.
The water was filled with large blue waves. The starfish. Last summer, I took a trip to an island. I had a lot of fun. I sat and watched the waves and listened to the ocean. I learned to identify birds. I discovered pretty things and enjoyed the taste of new foods. It was a very nice time. One evening, I took a pleasant walk by the ocean. When the waves came in, many starfish fell on the beach. Some starfish went back into the water, and they were safe. But other starfish were still on the sand. They would die if they did not get into the water. There were many starfish on the beach that night. It made me sad, but I knew I could not fix the problem. I stepped very carefully, so I did not damage them. Then I saw a little girl. She was also sad about the starfish. She wanted to prevent all of them from dying. She asked me if I could perhaps help her. To be frank, I don't think we can do anything, I said. The little girl started to cry. She sat back against a rock and thought for a while. Finally, the emotion was gone. She stopped crying and stood up. Then she picked up a starfish and threw it into the water. "What are you doing?" I asked her. But she did not answer me. She just threw as many starfish as she could. "You cannot save all of them," I said. She stopped to look at me. "No, I cannot save them all," she replied. Then she picked up a very big starfish and said, "But I can save this one." And then she smiled and threw the starfish as far as she could into the ocean.
Unit 10. Word list. Benefit. A benefit is a good thing.
Being able to fly is a good benefit to birds.
Certain. If you are certain about something, you know it is true.
I am certain that zebras have stripes.
Chance. A chance is an opportunity to do something.
I had a chance to see the Roman Colosseum last summer.
Effect. An effect is a change made by something else.
The medicine had a good effect on the boy.
Essential. If something is essential, it is very important and necessary.
It is essential to have oxygen when you scuba dive.
Far. If something is far, it is not close.
It's far going from the East Coast to the West Coast of America.
Focus. To focus on something is to think about it and pay attention to it.
My mom always helps me to focus on my schoolwork.
Function. The function of something is what it does.
The function of a flashlight is to help you see in the dark.
Grass. Grass is the green leaves that cover the ground.
The grass looks so soft and green.
Guard. To guard something is to take care of it.
The police officer will guard us from any harm.
Image. The image of something is a picture of it.
The image of her eye was very clear.
Immediate. If something is immediate, it happens quickly.
An immediate response came from the pizza place.
Primary. If something is primary, it is the most important thing.
His primary thoughts are about money.
Proud. If someone feels proud, they are happy about what they have done.
She is proud of the picture she drew of her house.
Remain. To remain somewhere is to stay there.
My sister had to remain home since she was sick.
Rest. To rest is to stop being active while the body gets back its strength.
I rested on the couch after work.
Separate. If two things are separate, they are not together.
New York and Los Angeles are in two separate parts of America.
Site. A site is a place.
We found the perfect site for our picnic.
Tail. A tail is a part of an animal's body, sticking out from its rear or back.
Our dog wags its tail when it's happy.
Trouble. Trouble is a problem or a difficulty.
I have trouble working with my boss.
The first peacock. Argos lived in ancient Greece. He was a husband and a proud father. He worked hard and did well at his job. But one thing about him wasn't normal. He was born with 100 eyes. Having many eyes was usually a benefit to him. He had a chance to see many things. Also, since he had so many eyes, he was very good at guarding things. While sleeping, he only rested a few eyes at a time. The others stayed awake. He worked for Hera, a great goddess. His primary function was to guard a special cow. The cow was very important to Hera. It was her favorite pet. The most essential part of his job was to keep the cow alone. It had to be kept separate from all the other cows and far away from people. This was an easy job for Argos. The cow just ate grass all day. But the god Zeus wanted the cow. He wanted to take it away from Hera. He had a plan. He found a great music player. He asked the man to play a beautiful song for Argos. Zeus was certain Argos would go to sleep. The song had an immediate effect. Argos couldn't focus on his job. He fell asleep. Zeus saw this, and he took the cow. Hera was very angry with Argos. She turned him into a peacock. She put his many eyes on his tail. Argos was very sad. Zeus saw how much trouble he had caused Argos. He made another plan. He turned Argos into a group of stars. He wanted Argos to remain in the sky forever. Even today, Argos's image remains there, above the site where all his problems began. We can still see him in the night sky.